We all know a lot of things about Elon Musk, the so-called richest man in the world, serial entrepreneur, business magnate, and a boundary-pushing, out-of-this-world, international celebrity. But have you ever noticed his seemingly strange obsession with the letter X? In 2020, Elon Musk and his then-girlfriend Grimes had their first child together, and interestingly enough, they gave the boy a first name of just X. 3 of his other children, while having a name that consists of more than one letter, all have the letter X in it. Xavier Musk, Saxon Musk, and late child Nevada Alexander. He created a vehicle called the Model X, founder of esteemed aerospace company SpaceX. And little known to most, Elon Musk is the benefactor of an organization called the X Prize Foundation. This is a non-profit organization that awards prizes for inventions that benefit humanity. And arguably the number one reason we know Elon Musk's name today is because of his creation of X.com.
So this is an ATM. What we're going to do is transform the traditional banking industry.
You might be thinking to yourself you've never heard of X.com, but the chances are likely otherwise. X.com would become what is now known as PayPal. PayPal was created to be the money of the internet. So keep in mind that a great deal of Elon Musk's wealth has been created via a financial service business he created during the internet boom. And while at the time no longer with the company, check out this peculiar announcement from PayPal in 2013. With new initiative Galactic, PayPal wants to own payments and commerce in space.
Space tourism is opening up to all of us in the next decade or so. And we want to make sure that PayPal is the preferred way to pay from space and in space.
Today, PayPal isn't the only payments infrastructure network to invest in so-called space money. Stripe, a major internet merchant service that primarily offers payments processing for e-commerce and mobile apps, is another. Stripe has invested a large sum of money into cryptocurrency payments network Stellar Lumens. Stripe received 2 billion Stellar tokens in return for its $3 million seed investment. You may be wondering, just what exactly is Stellar Lumens? Stellar is an open-source, decentralized protocol for digital peer-to-peer payments. The network facilitates low-cost transfers and cross-border transactions between any pair of currency, on the blockchain, of course. And from the looks of it, from the image to the name to their logo, like PayPal, they too have an interest in payments activities in the stars above. And this is what ties this portion of the story all together. You see, Elon Musk is invested into Stripe, a company directly invested into space money platform Stellar Lumens. But it's not just him that's invested, Peter Thiel as well.
I'm Peter Thiel. I build companies and I support people who are building new things, from social networks to rocket ships.
Peter Thiel is a billionaire entrepreneur and venture capitalist. He was reportedly the first outside investor in Facebook. He is known for turning several $100s into billions, and is also the co-founder of PayPal. So let's get this right. Elon Musk and Peter Thiel created X.com. That would become PayPal. Elon Musk leaves PayPal and creates SpaceX. PayPal begins to work on space payments with its initiative Galactic. Elon Musk and Peter Thiel invest in a payments company that is heavily invested into space cryptocurrency Stellar. Just like in the stock market, cryptocurrencies also have a ticker symbol, or a short sequence of letters that abbreviate its name. For Stellar Lumens, that code is XLM. This is Stripe's CEO, Patrick Collison. In 2018, he tweeted out that not only has Stripe said very little about Stellar in public, the company has not sold a single Stellar Lumen token. For most of Bitcoin's life and other cryptocurrencies, it's been a market of pure speculation. And because of this speculative nature, the extreme turbulence and volatility of the market is unmatched. It is the most volatile financial market in the entire world. So, with the possibility of unimaginable gains comes with it the potential of losing everything. It's important to remember that all the usefulness of crypto technology is yet to be put on full display. And, as Collison stated, he and his company Stripe aren't interested in speculative price action. They have their eyes set on use case. Another word about Stellar Lumens, it was co-founded by Jed McCaleb, an American entrepreneur and computer programmer. The interesting thing about this fellow is that Stellar was not the first cryptocurrency project that he ventured off into. In 2012, McCaleb also co-founded the global fintech company Ripple Labs. Ripple Labs is another organization that facilitates decentralized cross-border payments. Their cryptocurrency is called
XRP.
XRP.
At the moment, Ripple Labs is being sued by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. The SEC charged Ripple and two executives for conducting a $1.3 billion unregistered securities offering. Because of the lawsuit, retail investors are now reluctant to invest in said project, despite its technological superiority over other digital assets and cryptos, not excluding number one cryptocurrency by market capitalization, Bitcoin. That's why this is such a big deal. The lawsuit is just too high, a mental hurdle for most retail investors. It makes you wonder what other major companies have been sued by the SEC in the not-so-distant past. How about Elon Musk and his company Tesla?
Today, the SEC filed securities fraud charges against Elon Musk, the chairman and CEO of Tesla Motors.
Elon Musk, the CEO and the Tesla board are being sued for tweeting in violation of the SEC deal that.
And as scary as these crashes may have seemed in the moment,
Also talk about Tesla, which plunged in extended trading after the Securities and Exchange Commission accused Elon Musk of misleading investors with his go private tweet last month.
Tesla and Elon Musk recovered with just a slap on the wrist.
I think why you saw this settlement, both sides.
Another company who was sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission was online retail behemoth Amazon. They too settled with the SEC for $27.5 million after misleading investors during the internet boom. Misleading investors, you say? And even with Ripple under a lawsuit by the US government, wouldn't you know that Amazon is still partnered with this government-suppressed payments company? Imagine, while being investigated by the federal government, you remain partnered with arguably the world's largest company, whose head honcho is, according to Forbes, one of the top 4 people on the planet. Or does Amazon know that the SEC doesn't? And why doesn't the financial mainstream media report on this stuff? If you're not searching for this yourself, you'd never know. Just think about it. 2 of the world's richest men and their companies have both suffered and overcome lawsuits filed by the federal government, specifically for misleading investors, and their punishment was a baby slap on the wrist. And while in the midst of the legal battles, the media's coverage would have repelled you from investing. Now, where does that bring us? On the information highway, there is an incredible amount of, let's call it like it is, bullshit information. And in a world overflowing with it, it's becoming more and more difficult to determine what is real, what is true, and what is not. With that said, this seemingly unreliable piece of information I found on a random internet message board still piqued my interest. I'll read it for you real quick. The anonymous user writes, Elon Musk plans on making Stellar the official currency of SpaceX. The person continues to write that whoever gave them the info is not only a friend of his, but also holds a high financial position at SpaceX. Whether the whole high-level SpaceX employee thing is legit or not is irrelevant, because from what we discovered, it wouldn't be surprising at all, not even the least bit, if this turns out to have had been the plan all along. Right from the very start. And if it does in fact play out this way, it is likely to happen under the guise of the USDC. The USDC is a cryptocurrency stablecoin and is active right now on the Stellar network. For those unfamiliar, I'll go over stablecoins quickly. A stablecoin is a cryptocurrency that is pegged to a national currency. In this case, one USDC stablecoin equals $1. The value in a stable coin comes from the fact that the price does not fluctuate like a traditional cryptocurrency. It maintains its stability at 1-to-1, providing a stable holding place in the cryptocurrency market. And by doing this, investors can temporarily evade risk of loss, while at the same time remaining within the crypto space. Consider this. In a recent Yahoo article, we see USDC to be backed 100% by cash and US Treasury. The writing is on the wall. According to CNN, CBDCs are coming. CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, are digital currencies issued by the central banks of the world. So as the central banks now issue local fiat currencies, these same central banks will soon issue digital currencies. Now, before we continue, it's important to realize that these CBDCs will run on technologies not built by the banks themselves. Instead, independent blockchain companies like Ripple and Stellar. These are the companies providing blazing fast financial transactions akin to the speed of the internet, but at a fraction of the cost. Not all cryptos have the same purpose. Take, for example, Bitcoin, whose main purpose today seems to be store of value. It was originally created for payments, but has failed miserably in that particular endeavor because of just how slow and expensive the transactions can be. But with the technology of XRP, the technology of XLM, which are practically the same technologies, these technologies were created specifically for fast, inexpensive, decentralized peer-to-peer payments digitally for a digital world. The underlying technology of XLM and XRP allow other entities, such as banks, to build on top of the existing protocols and customize the tech to fit the need of their own digital currency. Prime example is the USDC. Under the hood of the USDC is Stellar's technology XLM, among others. This is the equivalent of a white label product, which is nothing more than a product sold by a manufacturer to another entity that will repackage the exact same product as their own, with their own name, branding, trade dressing, etc. So, as we can see, the USDC stablecoin runs on the Stellar network. But it's not just the US using Stellar's space money technology for means of instant payments. The Ukraine has also chosen to use the Stellar Foundation for its CBDC, as well as cross-border payments giant MoneyGram. But wait, doesn't the Ukraine have another space-based tech partnership? I believe they do, with none other than Elon Musk's Starlink satellite program. That, combined with the fact that governments around the world are all scrambling to get a digital currency project up and running, must have been what Patrick Collison meant when he said he's interested in the use case scenario. Now that we see what a few major players within the cryptocurrency space are doing, let's take a listen to the things they say.
Remember just 2 days ago when Elon Musk said he was getting off Twitter? Yeah, that didn't last very long. Overnight, he's been tweeting, and it is driving up Dogecoin pretty significantly.
And I'm excited for my Mother's Day gift. I just hope it's not Dogecoin.
It is.
Elon Musk, the world's richest man, who is, with billionaire friends, invested into a crypto project with significant use case, Stellar Lumens, backed by not only the US Treasury, but also outlined by the World Economic Forum in this June 2021 document. So with all of the behind-the-scene moves he's making on that particular project, he finds it more appropriate to get on Twitter and other platforms to promote Dogecoin to no end, and not a peep about Stellar Lumens or XLM. Not a single mention.
Dogecoin is the people's crypto. No need to be a gigachad to own.
What is Dogecoin?
Well, it actually started as a joke based on an internet meme. But now it's taken off in a very real way.
Okay.
It started as a joke. Dogecoin was created by a couple of engineers in 2013 as a parody of Bitcoin and a way to immortalize a doggone cute Shiba Inu through internet memes.
It's now a top 10 cryptocurrency in the world, with a market cap of about $40 billion.
He tweeted other things, just like no highs, no lows, only Doge. There's another one he tweeted saying, "You're welcome," with a picture of him, his face on Rafiki, the monkey from The Lion King, holding up Simba with a face of the Doge dog on it. So stuff like that's still kind of out there. He also mocks the shorts with some of his tweets overnight. He said, "I am become meme, destroyer of shorts."
But what is Dogecoin?
I keep telling you, it's a cryptocurrency you can trade for conventional money.
Oh, so it's a hustle.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
This brings us to the part about how the mainstream media chooses to report certain information, and more importantly, when they choose to report it.
It's a huge transfer of wealth that's happening right now. The last time I saw something like this was back during 1994 to 1995. In the early to mid-90s, individuals were making just enormous amounts of money buying companies like Dell, AOL, Microsoft, Netscape, and some of these smaller internet stocks. And the institutions had completely missed that bull market. And so during 1994 to 1995, we had a bit of a bear market. And so, again, institutions were out saying that, oh, anybody buying internet stocks, you're idiotic. And so you had a lot of people selling their AOL, selling their Microsoft, selling their Dell shares. Guess who was buying? It was the institutions. If you look at a chart of institutional allocation to venture capital internet deals, it doubled between 1994 to 1995, which was exactly when institutions were saying, oh, this is just a market for idiots. Nobody should be buying this stuff. So they literally stole all this wealth that should have been in the hands of individuals that owned Dell, Microsoft, and AOL. And then from 1995 to 2000, of course, we saw $5 trillion come into the market, and the biggest bull market we've ever seen. So this blueprint of creating fear in order to get cheap prices is nothing new.
The housing crisis, those banks, they bought up all of those houses. They were the ones who caused the problem.
Right.
Then they were talking everything down and saying, I'm just taking the junk off the table.
Yeah.
That's not junk now. This is how the rich get richer.
Yes.
They know, they're connected. A lot of times they're coordinating without the insider trading. This is not illegal to do.
No, manipulating the news cycle.
With crypto,
yes.
I know personally, I know people that would have gotten in or stayed in if these people weren't saying what they're saying.
Right. You all can do whatever you want, and I don't care. Okay?
Meet the CEO of Chase Bank.
On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin.
I could care less what Bitcoin trades for, how it trades, why it trades, who trades it. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day.
Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan.
He says it's a fraud.
He says he'd fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
So it's just, so unethical.
Right.
When the banks, institutions, and other big players want cheap prices for themselves, they use the media to create fear in the general marketplace to scare you, the retail investor, out of your valuable assets and into their own hand. And when they need to sell the profits they've made,
probably going to 100, then 150, then 200,000.
You're then encouraged to buy in to the market, because in order to sell, they need someone else to buy. And just as you decide to get into the market, in part due to all the hype that's been circulating, you think the prices will continue to rise. After all, it's on CNBC, Fox Business, all over Twitter and social media and the rest of it. But it's at this very moment that the price takes a turn for the worse. Because all the major players at this point, who have the biggest bags, are now in sell mode. And you got caught buying at the very top.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's like all of a sudden, all of the news stations are activated to pump bullish news out to the masses about cryptocurrency, primarily this cycle about Bitcoin and now Dogecoin. I mean, just look at how wild this is. Remember all the hype surrounding Dogecoin in the days and weeks leading up to Elon Musk's appearance on Saturday Night Live? Elon Musk appeared on Saturday Night Live on May 8, 2021. The price of Dogecoin was around 64 cents, and even higher in the days leading up to that day. The news was everywhere. Mainstream news, online news, friends, family, social media, people who never invested in anything, ever, all of a sudden, all aware and talking loudly about Dogecoin. And this was the very moment in time that Dogecoin and the rest of the crypto market was just days away from a major hit that would end up lasting many, many months, just as the hype was at its height. By May 30th, just 22 days later, the token had already lost 50% of its value, and by June 23rd, the price was at a low of 19 cents. From top to bottom, in a span of 6 weeks, when in the weeks prior, the media, through its reporting, metaphorically gathered the herd in for a major slaughtering. This, folks, is how the game is played.
It is this way, man. I'm sorry I exposed you to it, but it is. It's ugly, but it's necessary.
This piece is bigger than Elon Musk, bigger than Bitcoin and crypto technology, bigger than money, investing, and all that surface content we've spoken about today. This piece is about information, and more specifically, how information affects our perceptions and thoughts. Our thoughts, which create emotions, and emotions that manifest our behaviors. With many of us still turning to mainstream outlets, politicians, public figures, movies, news networks, and even celebrities as trusted sources of what's real and true, or at the very least a fair discussion of what's real and true. It's important to observe the effects these entities have on our perception of reality. As in the case of the media's cryptocurrency misdirection we've explored, these news companies are not tax-exempt, non-profit organizations fighting for a cause of informing and equipping you with the truth. These news outlets are for-profit companies. Furthermore, the consolidation of the media outlets we consume is nothing short of astonishing. By the year 2011, the mainstream outlets had been consolidated into only 6 companies, which means the vast majority of information we receive is from a very small, select few, who, like anyone else, have their own agendas at hand. What they want you to perceive, they will report. And what they don't, they won't. And on top of all that, when you have these news organizations on a mission for profit, they can easily be bought out by the highest bidder to report what those bidders pay for. The following is what honest journalism in mainstream media looks like today.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trending irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without.
Is real investigative journalism in the mainstream completely dead? Is what we have today just a bunch of talking heads reading what they're told to read? Is anyone asking the real questions, and are there any fair debates anymore? Is anyone taking a real risk to get you the truth? Because it seems as though in most industries the need for profit outweighs almost any other agenda. Money and profit. Big profit has a way of making people do things that they otherwise would not. As we've observed, not only are the mainstream sources not always accurate in their reporting, but are purposefully manipulating information so that not only will you not benefit from the info, but that others will benefit at your expense. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what people do. And as we close, let me ask, do you think the financial market is the only area of the news that is filled with manipulated and false information led only to mislead you? Only one final question. Can we really trust these people?
Breaking news, an FDA independent advisory panel is recommending Moderna booster shot.
Travis Campbell could die because he avoided the vaccine.
The vaccines that we are currently distributing now, the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines, work very well.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
That vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real-world data.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die.
I say I don't want your trash in my veins. They do anything for cash and the game. But they gon' feel my wrath in the end. dispel this evil from my land. I dispel this evil from my land. I dispel this evil from my land. I dispel